Welcome back, and tonight we're talking about Christian marriage, and for our SMS number is 0706 100 100. And Mr. John Nganga, talking about Christian marriage, maybe you can, before the break we've talked about the characteristics of Christian marriage. Maybe you can tell us further about that.
Yeah, we are back to Genesis chapter 2, which Jesus in Mark told us to go back to. If you want to understand marriage, go back to the beginning. Go back to the book of beginning. So the first thing we have said so far is that marriage is for companionship, and that marriage is begun by God. For it to be a biblical marriage, you must marry for companionship. These are the things additional. Number two, you must bring God. God must bring you together. And that's why we place the man of God, the pastor, as the one to pray for you. Not some gurario, some traditional ceremony is done, and then you assume you are married. Unless you believe that those wazes are the representative of Jehovah. Those traditions, you can do them if you want, but for a Christian, the only time you can count yourself marriage is if a man of God, just like God in person, brought Adam and Eve together. Similarly, if you want a biblical marriage, God's representative must pray over you and declare you married on behalf of God. That will be important. So a wedding is a very important part, but you can discuss that in detail some other time, what type of wedding you're talking about. The third thing, if you're really talking about a Christian marriage, is you say for this reason. Which reason? The need for companionship. A man shall live. So we are saying in a Christian marriage, the relatives, the father-in-law, the mother-in-law, the mother of the boy, the father of the boy, are not part of a marriage. In a Christian marriage, you begin a totally new couple. That does not mean you don't respect the parents of your husband or the parents of your wife, but they are not part of your marriage. So if it's really a Christian marriage, it must be somewhere separate. Otherwise, we would find the word meaningless when he says, for Adam and Eve to marry, God brought them together. For their children to marry, he says, for this reason, a man must leave his mother and father. So one of the ways of knowing whether you are Christian marriage is your marriage part of your parents' marriage? If the answer is yes, there is a problem. Because in a Christian marriage, you must have created a separate way where your parents can visit you, you can visit them, but they are not part of your home. And that's why I keep emphasizing the importance of living in a separate place. You can't marry and then continue in the bedroom of your mother's house. How will you then use the word left? It's better to leave your wonderful, fantastic compound of your parents, go to Korogosho in a simple structure to begin your marriage. If you want a Christian marriage, don't go for a big house, go for what you can afford. And I'm not suggesting you have money not to live in a big house. But the two of you must live together. And that's the emphasis for a Christian marriage. If you are, and you see you can have a problem there, either by physically being with your parents, because you have not left their compound. But number two, with these days of technology, you can be in a separate house, but your mother knows what you discussed last night with your husband. Your mother knows what you ate, what your husband. He says, my son, did she cook well last night for you? Now, if that kind of communication level, where your mother knows exactly what your wife has done to you, then you have not left. She may be living 10 kilometers away, but you are part of it. You must stop her from a constantly following you up, such it can be a different home and you are a different room. So it can be technological. This interference can be technological, but the other thing is financial. If your parents are the one funding your marriage, then they have a right to ask you questions. Hey, I gave you 2,000 last week. What did you do with it? But you're the one giving them permission by allowing them to fund your marriage. It's important that if you are calling yourself in a Christian marriage, you must be separate from that. So for this reason, a man shall leave his mother and father. But it's not just his mother and father. It's also all the other friends must be external. And what I normally say in a Christian marriage, if your wife is not liked by certain of your friends, you must find a way of stopping them. Because your wife is the most important person in your Christian marriage, the two have become one. It then means that you must leave anybody who does not support your marriage. Sort him out before. If he sticks and says you are marrying the wrong girl and can't give you biblical reason for it, maybe it's because she is too tall or her nose is too wide. I mean, whatever the story he is giving. If you believe he is not talking on a godly way and you believe what you are doing is godly, then the friendship with the people who are unhappy with your wife must stop. The same way with a girl who had girlfriends who thought surely they are many men. How could you pick such an ugly man? Now, if that's the way your friends live, they will destroy your marriage. The word of God is shall live means such kind of people must be left. So in a Christian marriage, it's a living thing. And that's where the wedding also comes in. So that everybody knows this one now belongs to this man. This man now belongs to this girl. And the relatives know, and the friends know, so they can respect. So for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother. Number two, if you are in a Christian marriage, the King James says, shall cleave. So it's a process. It's not an automatic thing. On a wedding is one day. But in a Christian marriage, you must continue the process of cleaving, coming together, finding a way of increasing this love and relationship. You know, before the wedding, a lot of boys know how to treat the girl. You know, she's taken out, she's given flowers. As soon as she enters home, that's the end. Because you see, now she's mine. Why do I have to do anything? But the verse is saying, shall cleave. Cleaving is not a one-time thing. It's present continuous, if you remember English. Yeah. It's present continuous sense. And it means, even for someone like me, in my 40th year of marriage, I must find for ways to court my wife. There was courtship before marriage. Now we need courtship in marriage. In a Christian marriage, a man is investing as much as he can to improve that relationship. It's the most important relationship before God. You know, it's God who tells man in Ephesians chapter 5, husbands, love your wife. So it's not try to love them, it's love them. And it therefore means it must not be just a word. It must be things you are doing that is helping your relationship to improve, even after the marriage. That's my understanding in a Christian marriage, when the Bible is telling you, and shall cleave. You have left others, now you must cleave. Cleaving is a process. And you need to ask yourself, you have been married 2 months, or 20 years, or like me, I'm getting to 40. You must ask yourself, what are you doing currently? Not what you did in the past. What are you doing currently that is making your relationship get better and better and better? Are you discovering things that annoys your spouse? What are you doing to reduce them? And the language of love is the language of time and availability. You can't cleave when one of you is in America and the other one is in Thailand. You must be physically together. You must sacrifice, sometimes sacrifice your making of money in order for the two of you to spend time together. You must sacrifice some money which you are supposed to be investing in buying a plot and to invest it in going out with your family. All looking for this cleaving process. And it's important to understand in a Christian marriage, the cleaving, the courtship in marriage will be a continuous process. And then next, the passage says, you have left, you are cleaving, you must become one and become one flesh. And that's a very powerful requirement if you're really going to talk about Christian marriage. Because the reason it was written there is that those of us who marry 2,000, 4,000 years later can understand that God wants this cleaving to go on to where you are clear you're one flesh. What does one flesh mean? It means when you look for Nganga, you find Rebecca. Rebecca happens to be my wife. Now you must see us as together. And actually people say over time, people look alike. You think, is this your sister or your wife? You start looking alike. Because you are supposed to become one. One, supposing becoming one is just a bedroom matter. But one is in one in many ways. Because the word of God, when it's talking about you in worship, it says you shall worship the Lord with your mind, with all your mind, with all your heart, with all your flesh. So it means then, if God recognizes that when he talks about one flesh, it is all of the four together. Number one, oneness of mind. So you must find out when you say in a Christian marriage you have become one, it means your thinking is similar. Your worldview is similar. If you ask my other question, I should be able to predict what you say. Because you have influenced each other until we think the same way. We seem to like the same things. Over time, it doesn't take a day. But becoming one, when you talk about oneness, is oneness of mind. And that will mean you read similar books. That will mean you share with each other's idea. That means you agree to disagree, because it is in that argument that you start influencing each other. And it will be a very, very important thing. So, oneness of mind. But in addition to that, you need also the oneness of the Spirit. It means if the two shall become one, you are spiritually one. It means you seek to pray together. You seek to believe together. That's why we keep telling young people, you cannot be an un-Christian. Because if you marry, then you will not be spiritually one. And God wants you to have oneness. So it's a critical thing to come to where you tell yourself very clearly, this girl and me are going to the same heaven. How do you be happy to know you are in bed with somebody going to hell when you're on your way to heaven? To be really one means you both are committed to the worship of one God, of Jehovah. And you are seeking over time to keep helping each other get closer and closer. So may the Lord help us in claiming to be Christian in a Christian marriage to really understand this idea of oneness.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. John Ng'ang'a. We've come to the end of our program tonight. We've been talking about what is Christian marriage. We'll see you next time, same place, same time. Have a blessed night.